What's the eternal principle?
But one.
Which is?
Well, we call it God, but that personifies it.
Party people, what is really good? This is FTG Podcast, episode 102. Let's get right into it. As always, this podcast is sponsored by Vedic Meditation with Matt Cardone. Vedic meditation is a simple meditation technique that works with a mantra. It's ancient in practice. You don't need to wear yoga pants. You don't need to do yoga. You don't need to be vegan. You don't need a meditation app. All you got to do is have yourself a qualified Vedic meditation teacher and a mantra that's given to you. Now, this mantra is void of meaning. It is a poetic sound, like I said, that's given to you from a meditation teacher that's almost like a lullaby to the mind. So you think the idea of this mantra within yourself. Mantra literally translates into mind vehicle, and it takes the mind into deeper states of, just takes you down into like the bliss of consciousness itself. And there we receive maximum stress relief, stress that is dismantled from the body, that's been stored in the body for numbers of years. And as a result, you tend to grow into a more effective, grounded person in open-eyed state, which is, I suppose, what it's done for me. I've been practicing it for the last 3 years of my life, and it has been the easily the single most thing that has helped me in my life, on top of many others. But anyways, that's what the deal is. You can look up Matt Cardone Meditation on Instagram. His website is literally mattcardonemeditation.com. If you're interested about it, you can go straight to the source or hit me up and I can guide you in the right direction. So, and then also next week, or by the time you're listening to this week, this Friday, February 10th, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Art District in Delray in Pineapple Grove. FTG is going to be there. We're going to have a booth set up, selling shirts, custom one-on-one shirts, talking about the podcast, community, meeting people. Recovery Through Repetition is going to be there. Robin's going to be running a yoga class. Kids, food vendors, other vendors, and it's the first time this event is happening. There will be many more. So we're excited to be there for the genesis of it. Very, very excited. Make sure you come check it out, man. Come check it out, shake some hands, meet some people, and cop some gear. Again, February 10th, Friday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, so yeah, man. Been a pretty smooth. One thing I realized, I'm really good at sleeping. Like, I'm good at sleeping, man. When it comes to the weekend, like, I took a 2.5 hour nap today and I slept for 8 hours. I don't know if that's bad, but I'm really fucking good at sleeping, man. And I don't, I don't withdraw from that. Like, it was nice and cool out today. I got the windows open, the wind whipping through. I sit down and I go to watch TV, but I just don't give a fuck about TV anymore. And I don't know what it is. Like, I want to watch a good movie. Sometimes you're like, I just need to watch a good movie. And I go to sit down and I just can't fucking do it, man. I just don't care. Even the shows that I'm normally watching, I can't get into anymore. So I've been cracking books, man. Maybe it's the cosmic blues. I don't fucking know, but yeah, man, I'm really good at sleeping. I've been figuring that out. That was probably I figured that out early in my life. I figured out that early in my life when my mother could never wake me up. And, it's something that, I put on my crown. I'm proud of that. And I will continue to be. So moving right along. I was thinking about this earlier. I met this therapist probably 8 years ago, this Haitian dude. I forget his name. It was a very unique name, and I'm completely drawing a blank. I was in treatment, obviously, and I remember he was running a group. This dude he was just finishing up his master's to be a licensed therapist. He was interning at the treatment center that I was at, and he was running groups. This dude was thick. He was fucking built, man. He had like tree trunks as legs, and he was just a very very stoic guy. But he also had like this nonchalant spiritual attitude about him. Like, you almost like, he gave off this vibe that like he just couldn't be fucked with, but not in like a mean egocentric way. You just knew this dude was like, he was just dialed in, man. He was just dialed in. Great guy. And I remember him telling like a little bit about his story, and he was saying something to the effect of, he came here from Haiti. He had to learn English by himself, go into school, learn English on his own time, and just navigate life as a teenager in a new world, new language, and just figure it out. And this guy sitting in front of us telling this story, he's fashionable, he's driving a Beamer, and he's just like, is oozing confidence, right? And so he's telling like this hardship story. And as he's going through this story, he's just he's telling it in a way where you're like, damn, man, how is this the same guy that's sitting in front of me type thing, And anyways, he was talking about finishing up his degree, and he wanted to go get a job, and somebody, I think in his school, was like, listen, man, you shouldn't go down to this office. Like, they're not going to hire you, right? And I'll never forget this, man. And his response to this guy was like, the way he was telling it to us, he's like, basically, fuck that. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to knock on the door. And if they say no, they say no. But I'm not going to listen to the narration that you have over my life because of my color skin, where I came from, my English, none of that. And so like the whole point, whether he got the job or not, he gave us this lesson of like, go knock on the fucking door. Go figure it out yourself. Quit playing small. Like, everyone wants to tell you what's good for you in your life and how you should be and what you should do and where you should go. They don't even got the answers to their own damn life. So why the fuck am I listening to them? Everything changed in my life when I stopped seeking your approval. Everything changed in my life when I no longer gave a fuck about how I should operate in order to retrieve your approval, because I wanted somebody to listen to. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted you to be right. And that just comes from like, I wanted to be directed. I wanted to be directed. And I actually remember telling my therapist not too long ago, I was like, you know what? Sometimes I want somebody to tell me what to do. Like, I want someone to tell me what I should do next. And he's like, And he's like, do you? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And he goes, I don't know. It sounds like bondage to me. And I think that, like, I know what he was saying, and I agree with what he's saying. And for myself, I guess, like, when I think about things like that, or I'm like, hey, I just want someone to tell me what to do next, I'm in the season where it's like, no, I don't want that. That's not how I should be retrieving information from life. I should go knock on the door, right? I should go knock on the door and figure it out myself. Stop listening to the people that think you should go certain ways. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a time in my life, especially early sobriety, where I needed shit to be simple, where I need someone to say, go do this, go do this, go do this. But once you start to achieve a new level of confidence and conviction in yourself and the way that you operate in the world, you stop pining for answers and you start to get placed on a plane of inspiration in spirit, which is where that word inspiration comes from, in spirit. And you begin to like operate from that state. And I guess like when I get doubtful or I question myself, that's when I'm like, I just want someone to tell me what to do. Because I've just, I guess like lost my way in a sense, like just for a moment, like I forgot about that spirit that has been guiding my life effortlessly. And so, you know, we participate in the game of life. You go knock on the fucking door and participate in the game of life. And it's a wonderful, wonderful game. It's a wonderful, wonderful opera, except that it fucking hurts, man. It hurts sometimes. That's what Joseph Campbell talks about. And he goes, you know, this, I forget what word he uses, but he goes, you know, this whole life lives on life thing is ugly. I mean, you watch these, I follow a lot of like wild nature videos and like big cats just fucking tearing baby deer to shreds. And, you know, you kind of look at that and you're like, oh, fuck, this poor little deer, this antelope or whatever. And this lion or this you know, leopard, like it doesn't have any concern for that life, except that it needs that life to continue on living, and it doesn't make any qualms about it. So it's like, it's just a very like the game hurts. Life fucking hurts sometimes. I'm not saying that we take life, but life fucking hurts, man. Life hurts sometimes, and there's suffering and pain that's involved with it. Now, does it stay painful? In retrospect, we look back and we go, damn, that needed to happen, you know, so it becomes a beautiful, holy moment. But in the process, it usually is pretty damn painful. And, you know, there's a lot of people who want to achieve right now. They don't want to go through the gauntlet of experience. We just want achievement now. And we think that the achievement is something that we get. We're like, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And we think like, if we could just snap our fingers and achieve what we feel is on our heart and what we want, that everything will be better. We want to bypass the gauntlet of experience that leads to that achievement. There's two parts. It's, what if what you wanted or what you wanted to achieve wasn't exactly what you needed and you weren't sure about what you wanted? And two, the thing that you wanted, the experience that it takes to get there, like the get back from that is the person that was forged by that experience to get to that moment. So it's like, you know, we want this achievement and this achievement and this achievement, but like I think the gift is going through the gauntlet of experience to get there and becoming this new person when you're there. Because like perhaps if I were to be able to snap my fingers and get everything that I thought I wanted right now, I wouldn't be able to honor that experience or that achievement. I wouldn't be the man that achieved that by my right, by my hands, by my motion through life. It's like people that come into recovery, they're like, I want 10 years right now. And I want 10 years sober right now. And what they're saying is, I don't want to put in the work. I'm scared of what it's going to take. And it's like, well, you know how you get 10 years sober, right? It's like, you stay sober for 10 years and see what the fuck happens. But it's like, it's not about the 10 years. It's not about the achievement. It's about the experience that leads to that achievement. And like the gift to you is you. There's nothing to get. If you're here to get something, you're going to come up short. The gift to you is you. It's a return to yourself, the greatest gift in my life right now. And I love where I live. I love my friends, the things I do for fun, a relationship with my family. I absolutely love what I do for work. I love FTG and this podcast and working out and all these awesome things that I have in my life. But more importantly, what I love more is the person that's doing all of these things. Right. So like number one, I couldn't have even imagined this quote unquote achievement where I'm at right now. but more so, I couldn't have imagined the person that I'm at right now in my life with these beautiful quote unquote achievements. So we get this person that's gone through this gauntlet, and it's refined us into this person that we've always wanted to be. But if we had our way, we would have snapped our fingers and we would have never gotten the real gift, which is the person. So it's like, here's a thought. What if what you thought you wanted wasn't what you needed? What if what you wanted most right now wasn't exactly what you needed? You know, and there's this line or this idiom that's like, man makes plans and God laughs. And there's actually scripture that says, many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. So like, I believe that the design for my life, or everything I've ever wanted in my life, there's secret desires in my heart. Now, if there's a secret desire in my heart, that means I'm not always in tune to them, and there's more to uncover and unveil, right? To become privy to the secret. So if God knows the secret desires of my heart and I don't, then my sole vocation is to give my heart to God, that these secrets may be unveiled and I may follow the rhythm that will take me to these secret desires. And that's just, that's a beautiful way to live. So it's like, what if everything you thought you wanted right now wasn't exactly what you truly wanted? Well, then you'd kind of like, and you'd have to let go a little bit and be at the mercy of, because then it's like, if there's always something I want and I'm not getting it, perhaps in a negative way, I'm clinging to it. And every moment that I don't have it, I deem the moment as lousy. Like it's too lousy. It's not enough. It should be different. Oh, I'm not there yet type thing, you know? And I was just talking to Andrew before this started, the man behind the cameras, and we were talking about podcasts and very successful ones and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, like I wonder like how you get there, you know, like I wonder if these people have like dumped a ton of money into marketing and all this shit and guests and And, you know, who fucking knows, man? And I don't know if FTG will ever be there, but I know that when I started from the grave, my goal was to spark spiritual thought and perhaps spiritual action, to just blow wind a certain way to make people kind of go, huh, I never thought about it like that. And after that, well, maybe I could do this, or maybe I never thought about it like that. What happens if I shifted my life, or I tried this thing or this spiritual idea or Vedic meditation? There's been a dozen people that have taken up Vedic meditation just through hearing it being talked about here. So in a very real sense, like I've already succeeded. Like FTG has become accomplished, done exactly what I wanted it to do, or I was hoping that it could do 4 years ago. So really anything after that is cherry on top type thing. So again, it's hard for me to keep that perspective, because obviously it would be dope to like do this full time, but in God's time, I suppose, right? Like who am I to start getting in the way of like how it should be? My goal is to put my ass where my heart wants to be, right? So like even today, I didn't want to fucking do this. I felt like I had nothing to say. All this shit, Saturday night, all this shit. It's going to be like, well, all this bullshit, all the preferencing mind. I want to do this. I don't want to do that. And it's like, who the fuck am I? Who the fuck am I to not continue to do this beautiful thing that's come into my life and had an effect on perhaps the life of others? So it's like, sometimes, man, you just got to put your ass where your heart wants to be. And this is where my heart wants to be. So regardless of my preferencing mind, here the fuck we are, right? So as I move forward in life, I see that I have ideas of what I want or how I want to move. And then I start to move that way, and then I'm, shifted by life herself. And so I think it's okay to have ideas of where you want to go, and they move you in a direction, and then you, without realizing it, will have to pivot. Just because maybe you may meet someone, something may happen, a new idea will form because you put yourself in a new arena by following a desire. And so it's just like this constant shift and play. So as I move forward, I'm like, damn, I really don't know that much. You know, I think I want one thing, and then I start moving towards it, and another thing happens. So it's like, damn, I really don't know too much. And then that, hopefully, when that continues to happen, that'll start to become stupid okay with you, and you can move forward with more peace. And for me, what I believe is that when you're in that vibration of peace and okayness, you're going to achieve what you want from life more easily and effectively than trying to wrestle it out of life, right? So it's all this spiritual paradox, and it's super fucking annoying, but to be in that vibration of, man, I don't know anything, and that's kind of fun, and we're just dancing and figuring this out as we go, and I got little clues and ideas and visions of what I would like it to look like, and I'm just going to keep moving that way, and whatever comes as a result of that is on life herself, and I'm going to meet it with honor, I'm going to meet it with integrity, I'm going to fully accept it, and I'm going to rock out and see what the fuck happens from it, and then something else is going to pop up, and I'm going to keep moving forward in that direction. And for me, that's just a really fucking dope way to live. Because you start to see that life has a beat or a pulse, right? Life has a pulse, and as you're moving through that, when you start to realize there's a it's like there's no way to figure that out and recreate it, but I also have a pulse. So it's about matching my heart up with this pulse of the universe. I know that sounds like very whimsical and stuff, but lately my conception of God has been this fluid rhythm, this pulse, this song, this way that wants me to move. In the Vedas, it talks about move in the direction of greatest charm. Move in the direction of greatest charm. Now, if you've ever been charmed by, you know, a girl or a guy or whatever, it feels good. You know, when a girl's charming you, you're like, whoa, who is that? Who is that? Wow, that feels good. You start to move in that direction. Oh, life and God and nature, it does the same thing to me. So we start to get clued in when we're based on this level of inspiration, right? We come to rely upon it. Our thinking will be cleared of wrong motives, as some recovery text says. And intuition is a powerful, powerful thing. So my only job is to feel that pulse and match my life with it, rather than trying to figure out what song it's singing. My only job is to sing. It's like, stop trying to Shazam life. Stop trying to figure it out. There's no need to pull out your app, fucking open Shazam and figure, oh, what song? I fucking love this song. No, enjoy the song. Enjoy what's happening. Take the song in, walk with it, repeat it, enjoy the lyrics, but don't try and figure it out. Stop trying to Shazam life, because it ain't going to fucking work. And that's what I was always trying to do. And I can still slip into that. Try to figure it out. Try to wrestle with it. Try and just beat it to the ground. I got to look at this. I got to see the blueprint. It's like, God don't work like that. It's not I'm not the song. We're just singing. We're just dancing with it, so to speak. And so when I can accept that, like, it just becomes more beautiful. Like, I remember when I was in Dominica with Mike Fitz, and RIP, I had my GoPros. Like, I had bought the GoPro for a trip, and I've always been a guy that, like, takes a lot of pictures and all that, and I have fun with it. And so we were, like, documenting the whole trip, and we hiked. It's Dominica is this southern island, and it's mountainous. There's volcanoes, not to be confused with the Dominican Republic. And so we'd hike this mountain, and you hike this mountain like 2 hours, and there's this old Rastafarian family who is just living off the land. They have all these medicinal plants. They've tapped water into the river, sink, wood burning stove, coffee, all this, just like, it's insane. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I had the GoPro, and I'm filming and doing this and that. And one of the Rastafarians was like, there's no need to film. Just take it in. Now, I knew this truth, and I wasn't living it at the moment. And back of that was like, well, this is just fun. Like, I want to GoPro it. But like, he was right. There's always like this aspect of wanting to capture and have it and be able to look at it and know it and figure it out and explain it. But I think that like the most beautiful things in life, words aren't enough. Words aren't enough for those things. And like, to try and Shazam Life and figure out the song, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? I don't really think it matters that much, because you're gonna add it to the playlist, and then you're gonna hear another song, and then you're gonna have to pull out the app again, and do it all over again, and then you forget about the song anyways, rather than just feel it. And if you're 30 and older, like, you shouldn't listen. Don't only moms have Shazam? Isn't that a thing? Like, I didn't even know that fucking app was still around. Anyways, so there's more songs to come, right? And actually, the last song that really hit me is a feel good song. I didn't Shazam it, all right? It was fucking sent to me. And the name of the song is called Kings of Summer. It's a happy song, and there's this one line in the song, and he says, jumping off the porch like mom's not home, just a couple kids living on their own. These summer nights, we love them how they take so long. But that one line, jumping off the porch like mom's not home, I love that line, because it's like, for whatever reason, like, so I grew up with a lot of cousins, right? We were all ride or die. Like, we got just a huge family, aunts, uncles, cousins, and we were just all ride or die, all family, parking lot, Thanksgiving, football days, like, all this shit was the best. Growing up with all these guys was the absolute best, man. And we're all a little scattered nowadays as we've gotten older. We all have our demons and things like that, so we don't really have that aside from a couple here and there. But the childhood was amazing, right? And it's just, kids are crazy, man. Like, at that young age, man, it was so beautiful. And like, I don't know what it is about, but like, when mom's not home, it's like, what kind of shit can we do that we're not allowed to do every time she's here? It's like, every time the parents are gone, a new fucking world opens up, and it's like, we got a list of shit to do that we're not allowed to do. So like, let's fucking get after it. And that's the type of shit we would always get into. And it was like, if you said mom's going to kill us if she figures this out, that's how you knew you were doing something good. Like, if you didn't preface it with mom's going to kill us if she figures out we're doing this, you weren't doing you weren't having fun, right? So there was like, I love that line in that song, jumping off the porch like mom ain't home, because there's so many simplistic things as a kid that, and it's that you just love to do, that was just effortless. You weren't beaten down by the fog of adulthood and responsibilities and money and work and a career and all these things that we should be doing, and this preferencing mind that says this is where you should be, this is where you shouldn't be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like, all right, well, it was so simple. It's like, well, to have fun. Like, if mom's not home, let's jump off the porch. Like, this is going to be fucking awesome, right? And there's a life of being 8 years old, 10 years old, running around in the backyard with the kids in the neighborhood, playing tag without a care in the world, playing kill the carrier. And there's no concern in my life other than killing the kid with the football, right? Or playing jackpot, like playing hide and seek. There was no concern in the world but in the rapture of that game in that moment. And I'm here to tell you that that feeling of being 12 years old without a care in the world, not concerned about money, career, anything, where you're just in the moment and happy, that is available right here and now. It's available for me at 34 years old, and I have it. I experience it. It's not all the time, but it's there. It's like, what was the first thing you were sure that you loved? The first thing, my first love was skateboarding. Skateboarding was the first thing I was sure that I loved, that I knew that I fucking loved it. If I woke up and it wasn't raining outside, it was going to be a good day, right? And even when it was snowing in New York, I'd be skating in the fucking basement, just practicing flat ground tricks, driving my mom nuts because it's so loud. It would echo throughout the whole house. Even then, when it wasn't too cold, we go find like a parking garage where there wasn't any snow, and we'd just skate and skate and skate and skate and endless, just without a care in the world. You know, I had my Uncle Dave build this fucking square rail for me that was way too light, so we had to weight it down on the feet, and we would just be out there ripping this rail. And I remember when I got crook grinds, you know, you always have like, Ma, watch this, Ma, watch this. And how come when the parents come out to watch what you've been practicing, you can never fucking land it? Every time, dude. Ma, watch this. Ma, hold on. One more try. She's like, come the fuck on already, you know? But I was stoked. I remember that feeling of hitting a crook straight over that square rail, the whole thing, and popping out clean. I remember when I first landed a varial flip. I couldn't fucking believe it. I remember my first heel flip down a 7 stair, right? I remember kick flipping the dentist 3-stair gap, and we laid a trash can, one of those big ass trash cans, over the flat. It was 3 stairs and then a long flat curb, and I fucking kick flipped over the stairs and the garbage can clean. We had a fucking video camera, and my friends were like, couldn't believe I did it, you know? And it was like the best feeling. I remember breaking my ankle on the Waffle House fucking 8-stair, you know? I remember the Wilson Farms dirt gap that was just massive, and my buddy Steve Solito nollie flipping it. He was sponsored by World Industries. There's just these beautiful moments in life where that was the only thing I was concerned with, was that. And like, what are those simple things that you've lost in adulthood or you've lost in addiction? Maybe go, like for me, I went and grabbed a skateboard. You know, I went and grabbed a skateboard, got with the homie Andrew Canny. We started going to the skate park. Shout out Andrew. He's nice on the mini ramp. And like, it was just good. I mean, you know, the skill level isn't there anymore, but it doesn't matter. You just fucking get on the board. If you used to draw like I used to draw, the skill level ain't there, but guess what? I design, I make graphics for t-shirts, I put things together. Like, you find a way to tap into that where you're back into the rapture of being that young kid without any worry and concern of the world except creating in that moment. And that's a beautiful way to live. Like, what was it for you? Was it basketball? Was it football? Was it dancing? Was it drawing? Was it biking? Was it skateboarding, right? And you owe it to yourself to insist upon having that feeling in your life. You owe it to yourself to start jumping off the porch when mom's not home, you know? And what is it about, like, why is the quote unquote jumping off the porch so much more fun when mom's there and you shouldn't be doing it and you don't want to get caught? It's like not even that fun when she fucking leaves. There's a little bit of foreshadowing there in my life. Why are like the best things feel so wrong, you know? So anyways, man, yeah, I remember being a kid, fucking no shoes, grass stains, dirty, fucking just no care in the world, man. And the only thing I had to do, come in at nighttime, eat dinner, get clean, go to bed, watch skate videos on VHS for 2 fucking hours. Like, you know, the flip video, sorry, the girl video. It's just like, it's endless, man. It's endless fun. And I didn't know what my favorite color was when I got sober. I was just shot out. I didn't know what my favorite movie was. I was just shot out. The only thing in my life was heroin. That was it. So the gift to you is you. The gift to you is finding out the purest part of yourself and having a relationship with that inner child again, and loving on him, because there's years in my life that were jaded, where I completely lost myself, and Prince alcohol and King heroin took it over, man, and I willingly gave my life to it. So you lose yourself in that process, and then you fucking insist upon finding it again. Yeah, man, it's just it was beautiful. It's beautiful stuff, man. Skateboarding was the first fucking thing I was sure that I loved, right? So you buy a skateboard and you just fucking skate. It doesn't matter how good you are, right? God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. God wants us to be happy, joyous, and free. Do you want that for yourself? Are you insisting upon being happy, joyous, and free? Because, by the way, like, that's your responsibility. Your happiness, like, it's on you to make your life worthwhile and meaningful. God gives you the power to officiate that. But it's on you to make use of everything that this world and God has given you. Stop trying to Shazam life. Stop trying to figure it out. There's nothing to figure out. It's like look at it this way. Like, when your spirit dances, right? Something hits you and your spirit dances. It becomes your life's work to figure out the steps of that dance. Not to create the dance, but just if you feel that pulse, if something shifts within you, then you got to follow that pulse. You got to follow that charm. And it's not always easy to fucking see by any means, right? But there's little clues that I've found in my life that kind of help me stay there, or the pulse, right? That keeps the pulse alive. And for me, that's reading, that's writing, that's meditating, that's prayer, that's creating, that's FTG, that's talking behind the mic, that's trying to affect people in a positive way, to be of service when I can, like pure things, not anything extravagant. Anytime I get caught up in the extravagancy or novelty or the achievement of life, I've lost sight of what matters. And as corny and cliche as it is to say, it's the journey that matters. Because anytime I get caught up in result, I'm clinging to something. If I want result, if I'm going to walk somewhere, if I'm going to scale a mountain, right? If I'm going to hike a mountain, and the whole time there, I'm focused on the summit, and man, all I want is the summit, and this hike is just, I'm going to be frustrated the whole time. But if I'm concerned and attentive, aware to each step, and walking the dead trees and scaling the side of the cliff and enjoying the false summit and taking my time up the mountain, like, that's the guy I want to be. That's the guy I want to go hike with. I don't want the guy that's just pining for the summit. I want the guy that's enjoying the fucking hike the whole way through. I miss fucking hiking, man. I miss hiking a lot, dude. And like, I remember hiking, and one of the craziest experiences is when I used to go into the mountains for probably 3 days at a time, bring a tent, camp out, and do this great range trail in the Adirondacks, which is like you scale up and down 7 different peaks. It's like this huge loop, and then you come back around to Mount Marcy. And after being in the woods for 3 days and not hearing anything but nature, it was so interesting. I remember getting to the end of the trail and starting to hear cars go by, and it was the weirdest fucking experience in the world, which just shows you that retreating into silence was just, it was interesting. It was almost like a primal thing. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? And it was almost kind of like somber when I got back into my car, like back into the rat race of the world. But anyways, what we start to achieve, like the whole goal is not having to go anywhere to get paradise. We have the opportunity to achieve and facilitate a portable paradise, have it within us right here and right now. And yeah, that's not going to be like, for me, it's not a consistent 100% of the time thing, but it's there. And the baseline, the bounce back when I'm not in paradise is quick. That's been as a result of meditation. I'm too sensitive. I'm too sensitive when I'm off kilter, quote unquote, not on the beam type thing. I'm jammed up. I'm in my head. I don't want to do this and all that. I remember what my mind is saying right now doesn't matter. It's just talking shit. I put my ass where my heart wants to be, and I show up anyways. Let action be your religion. That saved my life. Action is my religion. I continue to walk forward and do the things that life is presenting and putting in my path without any need for what the outcome should look like. The outcome is none of my fucking business. And if the outcome was my business, it would never be as beautiful as it would be without me letting go of the outcome. Beyond your wildest dreams, man, they weren't lying when they said that shit. They weren't lying, you know. So anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to the channel, From the Grave Podcast. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. If you like what you're hearing, you're listening to it on your phone, take a screenshot, throw it up on Insta, tag us, leave a comment. We'd greatly appreciate it. If you got time, go leave a review. And thank you guys for listening, man. It means the world. Thank you.